Hey, Brandon here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Have another 2024 rookie scouting report for you here on the channel. Been dropping a lot of these lately and we'll be dropping films just like this all the way up leading to the NFL draft. Okay, today I want to talk about Roman Wilson, senior wide receiver from Michigan who really balled out at the Senior Bowl this week. Really showcased his skill set down there. And these shows that I produce here are really cool. We're going to go through his stats. We're going to go through his scouting report. We're going to talk about a little dynasty projection, draft capital projection, and then at the end of the show, I'm going to link a highlight film that I posted earlier this fall on this channel, his game against Purdue, his most productive game of the season, where he had 9 receptions for 142 yards. So you're going to be able to link at the end of the show right to that highlight film so you can scout Roman Wilson for yourself. So if you play Dynasty, you play Fantasy, and you're looking for a YouTube channel out there that's going to give you an early look at the 2024 draft class and beyond, hit that subscribe button, man. I got all sorts of highlight films, rookie reports, scouting reports, film breakdowns, all sorts of good stuff on the channel. As well, you can see below I have a product called Devy to Dynasty Dashboard. It's basically a database of over 500 players that could potentially be hitting our Dynasty rosters in the next 3 years. If you're interested in learning more about that, hit me up via the email down there and I will give you a sneak peek for 2 weeks. It's a pretty cool product out there. A little unique, not a lot of people have. All right, let's get to the show. All right, Roman Wilson, we're going to go through his stats right here. So the stats on the screen are basically his senior year. Now, he was basically a late breakout at Michigan. The first 3 years really didn't do much. This year, 40 receptions, 648 yards, 11 TDs, PFF grades in the mid-80s pretty well, right? So he's had a lack of production really as a 4-year player, but I don't think the NFL cares, right? He went down the mobile, he showcased his skills, and we saw that pretty much all year if you watched Michigan football this year. I mean, he was the primary receiver for J.J. McCarthy, and he had some tremendous plays throughout the season. So I'm not surprised he went down there and really showcased his skill set. So let's look at his lineup ability on the field. He was 65% this season out of the slot, 35 out wide, which is nice because that offers a little versatility. And I know NFL offenses are looking for chess pieces for all the skill positions. So this is a guy that can play inside, outside, but I think he's going to be a slot guy in the NFL, given his size at 186 pounds and his height. I don't think he's going to be a boundary receiver. We're going to be seeing, working the left or right boundary very often. I think he's going to be a short and intermediate kind of player, a good possession slot receiver that will be a good best friend for any quarterback that he gets linked up with. All right, so let's get through his scouting report. What did we see this year at Michigan? What did we see at Mobile this week? And first and foremost, he had a quick release and he showed his separation skills, right? It's all about space creation for the wide receiver. Space creation and physicality to me are two of the biggest traits that you need to be successful. And Roman Wilson right now, I mean, from the releases, the one-on-one drills down there, he was really doing a really nice job with that. Getting a lot of buzz right now as a riser as we head to the NFL draft. All right. Second thing that is pretty evident, watching his film this year. Again, the films that I'm going to link here at the end of the show. He's a fluid athlete and a good route runner, right? And again, that's the name of the game, creating space. Okay, so he's got some twitch to him. He's got some good footwork. He's got some bend and athleticism. And he's got reliable hands. He made some really, really nice catches this year. In traffic, on the in the end zone this year, and crossing patterns and stuff like that. So he was really J.J. McCarthy's security blanket this year when they were asked to pass the ball. Roman Wilson made some big plays and had some big moments this year, and he showed that he's really got some good quality hands. This year, go back and look at the receptions. He had a 72% catch percentage this year, so he's got some sticky mitts, which is obviously important as a wide receiver as well. You got to be able to catch the ball, right? And as I mentioned before, the fourth thing that I think is going to offer is his alignment versatility. I mean, he was used in the backfield this year at Michigan. He did wide receiver screens. He did, inside slants and out routes and dig routes and all sorts of stuff. So the NFL right now is they love the deep vertical passing game, but there's also a big role in the NFL offenses this year for the quick hit possession type receivers. And I think his alignment versatility is going to be a nice thing that NFL teams are going to like about his game. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about before I turn over the Purdue film is, his draft capital, right? I mean, right now what you're looking at on the screen is from mockdraftdatabase.com. Number 92 is where he's averaging out. So he's borderline a late day 2 pick. Could he, after the Senior Bowl, go in the second round? There's second day 2 rather, the round 2 and 3. Yeah, I think there's a good chance that if there's a team out there that maybe have bigger boundary receivers that is looking for a smaller slot guy that can just get open and have that quick release, to move the chains and get those 5-10 yards, I think Roman Wilson, he fits the bill there. So what does that mean for our rookie drafts? Right now, I have him projected as a third round. I mean, the wide receiver class is deep, as we know, in this class. So I think between the first 3 or 4 quarterbacks are going to go off the board. I think there's going to be a slew of wide receivers taken, a few 5, 6, in the first round, and they're going to basically filter into the second round. We'll have 3 or 4 running backs, depending on what the draft capital of them and landing spots. He may sneak into the second round, but I think there's just too many other receivers that are going to be in front of him. So maybe late second, but I see him as a third round pick. Now, for a dynasty player comp, I think Dane Brugler, who was down at the Senior Bowl, had a very interesting comp, and I'm just going to use his because I'm not really good at comps. I'm just going to be right out and up front with you. But he had Tyler Lockett, which is an interesting comp because Tyler Lockett's an explosive player, man. Let me tell you something. If Roman Wilson ends up being Tyler Lockett, you got yourself a fantasy player. Tyler Lockett's had some really good seasons. I don't see the vertical prowess of Roman Wilson as much as Tyler Lockett. I saw Tyler Lockett as like a burner down the field, and I'm not sure Roman Wilson has the wheels. But as far as a possession receiver, a smaller receiver who's been productive, I'm going to go with the comp. I mean, Dane Brugler knows a lot more about football than I do. He's from The Athletic. He's an NFL draft analyst, so I'm just going to copy his comp. But that's what's out there on the street right now. So, all right, man, that's the show. I'm going to link, like I said, his Purdue game where he had 9 receptions for 143 yards. Should be on the screen right now. Go scout Roman Wilson for yourself. It's going to be interesting to see where he lands in the draft. Thanks for watching.